I hope everyone is well. I hope everyone is good. Yeah, what we are going to be doing today is we are going to be doing jackfruit chili and courgette spaghetti. So I'm going to put in the recipes into the chat so you can kind of follow along. I hope everyone is well. It's gale force winds outside for me, so hopefully that is everybody's not just flying off like Mary Poppins or Wizard of Oz style. So yeah, let's have a see. We'll give it a few minutes. Hope everyone is well. How is everyone? Let me know. Yeah, so we are going to be doing jackfruit chili with these. And so we're going to start the jackfruit chili first. While that's going on, while that's kind of doing its thing, while it's cooking, we're then going to use a new contraption that I got for my birthday, which is a spiralizer. So we are going to make spaghetti out of these courgettes, which hopefully, I don't normally like courgettes on its own, but hopefully you can kind of, this can help palate it and give you an idea of a fresh and healthy alternative to pasta, which would always be better than having so much pasta that you can either think of. Yes, the spiralizer is nice. It's got two different other blades here, which is slicing, and it makes it into spirals. So at the moment, the blade that I've got on there makes it into like noodles, which is what we need for the spaghetti. So yeah, nice little thing. Salter spiralizer, not sponsored, but yeah, it's that's what we're going to be using when our jackfruit chili is getting ready. So what we need for the jackfruit chili is the recipes I've put in the chat. What we're going to do is you need tinned jackfruit, which is shredded. So I'm just going to drain this jackfruit. And I have actually, apart from one taster at I think a vegan fair, I've never had jackfruit, apart from once maybe, in a dish. So this will be a new thing. So just going to drain jackfruit when it decides to come out. And the difference with this is we need it to be shredded. So what we're going to do is we're just going to chop it up a little bit thinner than it is. Obviously this is a recipe that is free from protein, which is great. So it means that you can have as much as you want of it. So I'm just going to get my knife, and we're just going to chop it all up. We just want it to be nice and thin. We don't want huge chunks in our chili. And we're going to use the whole of this can, and this will provide a good basis of most of our chili. It says to use a frying pan in the recipe, but I'm actually just going to use a big pan because it's going to make a fair bit. This is meant to serve 4. So in terms of servings, I'm always a bit umming and ahhing about how much a serving actually is, because I can eat quite a lot. I consume a lot of food is the basis. So I'm just going to put this in here. That's getting nice and shredded now. Has everybody had a good week? It's been nice and sunny. Got myself a nice bit of tanning earlier this week by doing the garden. It's like almost like you get what's it called? You get you use gardening as an excuse to also stay in the sun. Otherwise, I'll be staring at a computer doing work. So for me, the garden is like, oh yeah, I need to do the garden. So I go out there and also make the most of the sun. But it's been really warm this week, actually. So. Okay, so this is, we're just going to shred it a little bit more. I appreciate you mentioning me, Suzanne, in the news and views. The picture could have been a better picture. I look very serious for a person that doesn't know what he's doing half the time with this cooking. But no, I appreciate it, and it's been really nice actually to see so many people baking and so many people making stuff, and it's forcing me to try and come up with different stuff. It's wind in the cosmos today as well. Yeah, I think my water butt has been moving across my garden in different stages of the day. So I keep resetting it, and then it keeps moving again. We need some water to actually fill it. Right, so we've got our shredded jackfruit, and then we have mushrooms. So about 70 grams of mushrooms and onions. So that's one bowl. You've got your jackfruit. All the measurements are on the recipes that's in the chat. I'll put it again. Hello, Anita. Oh, you're always busy. I don't think you could ever come up in a week and go, it's been quite a calm week for me. We have, it's supposed to be red pepper. I only have a green pepper, so I'm having green pepper. But a full pepper. And then about 50 to 70 grams worth of butternut squash. So if you can see underneath, there's butternut squash diced there. And then what you need vegetable oil, or that's sunflower oil. So, and then we're going to have various different mixed herbs. And that's all. Actually, a thing that I forgot, which if you give me a minute, I will go and get my basil plant. Bear with me. Hello. So this is my basil plant I've been growing. We'll put that there. We need 10 grams of the basil plant. So we're going to take a few, pinch the leaves, take a few of the healthiest leaves. It's got a very big smell on it. I think I'm very impressed with my basil plant. It's doing very well. It's loving a bit of sun. So we're going to chop this up, and this will be like our fresh herbs, almost. Okay. And the great thing with this dish is the main point of this dish is the prep. The prep is going to be the thing that takes you a bit of time. So we'll have a few more leaves. What do people think to my basil plant? It's finally getting a bit of use. I've been growing this pretty much since about 2 weeks into quarantine. So this is is it 7-week-old plant? Kind of thing. So yeah, so we now got some little, oh, that smells strong. We've got some nice little chopped up basil here now, adding a little bit of colour to the presentation. And then we're going to have, it says, a red chilli, finely diced. I don't have a red chilli, so I'm just going to use some chilli flakes instead. And a little bit of chilli powder, not too many because I've got my chilli flakes. So, and then we've got Italian mixed herbs. And then you can use fresh garlic. I'm using my jar garlic again. I have a south-facing garden, which means that's in my office and it flourishes. I've got a coriander plant too, but at the moment I don't need that. This is my little baby. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our pan here, which obviously you can see I've got my camera set up there for when we need it. We're going to turn on and we're going to heat it up to about half heat. I have a dial obviously from 1 to 6, so we're probably going to do about number 4. Add in. There you go. So it says 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Just adding in a little bit more. Okay, now we're going to wait for that to heat. While we wait for that to heat, you have chopped tomatoes, and this is going to be our base. But we're going to do that once the stuff has started to cook. So we're not going to need all these chopped tomatoes, but it'd be very useful to have. I'm just going to open them while we wait. So, yeah, fresh onion, butternut squash, jackfruit, some mushrooms, and a pepper. And then we're going to basically cook this all together, and then we're going to add tomatoes and water after about 5 minutes worth of cooking. I hope everyone is good. Just going to wait for that to keep going. Okay. Chop this up. So this is 400 grams worth of chopped tomatoes. We need about 390, so you might as well just put the whole can in. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to give this a little heating up a little bit. We're going to get our portions. So we're going to need 3 teaspoons or 3 cloves of crushed garlic. So obviously this little jar, 1 teaspoon equals a clove of garlic. So we're going to leave that teaspoon. I'm just going to use one of these. That's 1. I'm just doing this while the temperature heats up in the pan. Okay. I love garlic, so too much is fine by me. If you don't like garlic, then obviously reduce it down a little bit if you wish. So you've got that garlic. Again, going for the spoons. And then we've just got our various different spices and herbs that we're going to put in once we put all this in. So, it's getting there now. So, yeah, it says to add to jackfruit, butternut squash, onion, mushrooms, peppers, red chilli, so that's the little chilli flakes, and what's it called? Then we're going to do paprika, chili powder, basil, that sort of thing. So, cool. So, what we're going to do is everything okay working wise with the stream? Just checking, because I had a few technical issues when I was setting up. But if you let me know in the chat if it's going okay, then let me know. Right. So that's now making a little bit of heat. So what we're going to do is we're just going to add in all this stuff. So I am going to adjust you to the back now. Okay, so now we have our pan. So we're going to add in this garlic. I'm just going to reduce it down a little bit because we don't want to burn the garlic. Okay. And then what you want to do is you want to add in all this. All the jackfruit. all the veg. And then we want these herbs and peppers and stuff. So I want to just... There you go. See a bit better now. Okay, so we have that. This is now just going to cook for about 5 minutes. We're just going to add in the herbs and spices. So you want a red chilli, so I'm just going to do a few chilli flakes. When it decides to come out. Okay, a few chilli flakes. Then you want a teaspoon of chilli powder. Okay, so that's about a teaspoon of chilli powder. Then you're going to need a teaspoon of mixed herbs. Right, just put in loads of mixed herbs. And then we're going to do is add in our basil. So this is our fresh basil that we've just chopped off the plant. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we are going to put in a little bit of paprika. So that's everything that should be in there now, apart from the chopped tomatoes and the water. So then what we're going to do is we're going to give this a little stir around. It's looking nice and colourful. I hope you agree. Okay, just going to leave that to cook now. I'll do a little bit of tidying. So that should now be getting itself up to speed. I'm going to leave the lid off for now, because then when you add in the chopped tomatoes and the water, that's when you're going to want it to be a constant kind of heat. So that is what the chilli is looking like at the moment. And that should be just bringing itself up to heat. Okay, so hopefully that you can kind of see there. It's now getting itself back up. For some reason, I always use a fish slice for my mixing of pans. Don't ask me why. I just find it easier to work with. Okay, so that's, just make sure it's all mixing through, because you don't want anything that's particularly like a hot spot for spice. Okay, so we're going to come back now. So if we do that. So we're back. That's going to be just doing this thing for the next couple of minutes. What have we got? Loving the colours. Yeah, the colours are good. Yeah, it's quite nice to have like a bit of butternut squash and that sort of thing in there. Yeah, very high tech, having different camera angles. Well, I always find it hard when you're cooking on the cooker, and the layout of my kitchen doesn't really lend itself to live streaming. Is this case of you can't necessarily, if I'm doing this now, you can't necessarily see what I'm actually doing, which sometimes to some people they follow like for like in terms of what people do. So that's why I try it anyway. It's lower quality than what it is on the thing. I know what I need to do to sort that. I just need to get paid off the university for me to be able to do that. What will you cook for International PKE? I don't know what I'll cook for International PKE Day. If anybody has any suggestions, it gives me a good month to plan. But I will be moving my Saturday kitchen, Tom's Kitchen thing, to the International PKU Day. So if anybody has any requests, then yeah, let me know and I can give it a go. And you know, maybe I'll do a viewer request, maybe I'll do one that I think of doing. So this is now cooking away. We're going to have probably about 1 more minute on this. And then we're going to be doing spiralising the courgettes. So that should be good. I'm just going to put some of this, tidy it a little bit, because the kitchen just gets such a mess. Such a mess. German apple cake for horse pickle. You know what? Oh, I can have a look into doing it. It could be a bit longer than an hour and a half stream. I might feel like I'm on Bake Off, but certainly for in recognition of horse pickle, then I don't think that's not a bad thing. How about something very brummy? Okay, I don't. Oh. Don't know. I'll have to have a think. What's denote the brummy? Right, so we're just going to cut back to the pan. So, this is doing its thing now. Slowly condensing. I've gone for quite big chunks of butternut squash. You can chop them down a lot more if you want, but I quite like it a bit thick in terms of my butternut squash. So, 150 ml of water, and we're going to then put in the water and the tomatoes. So we're just going to add the water in first. Then we're going to add in the tomatoes. Okay. We're going to mix this round. It's very colourful, I think you'll agree. Okay, so now that it's all mixed around, what we're going to do is we're going to move the fish slice onto the stirrer, put the lid on, and now what we're looking at doing with this is we just want it to simmer. Okay, so we just want it to simmer. Burn off a little bit, but we're going to allow this to simmer for about 30 to 40 minutes. Just go ahead. Make sure that this is hitting the right. Make sure it is simmering, so I'll bring you back. Okay, so I'll keep an eye on that, make sure it's simmering, and then we're going to get spiralising. So we'll just move this stuff to the side. So again, I will put in the chat the recipes. I'll try and think of some other stuff. Okay, yeah. Elaine from Fate might deliver a special recipe just for Tom's. Oh, okay. Oh, obviously I'm week free on it. So if we can try and make it week free, then that'd be great. If not, I can give it a go with cooking. I just won't be able to eat it because then I'll balloon. And I don't think people want that. So we're going to move this stuff out of the way. In the sunflower oil, we just need olive oil now. Okay, so we are on page 2 of the menu of the recipe. The recipe, I mean. Okay, yeah. Right. You know what? I like the challenge. I like the challenge of not being able to decide it. As long as I get it within like a week or so before, then it's fine. But I can, if it can be adapted, because I'm getting I've basically not renewed, but revitalised the list on my prescription. So I'm getting in new products. I say new products, they've probably been on the prescription for the last 2 years, but because I've had like mild doctor issues, I didn't particularly want to keep trying it and testing with new products. So I've now got like bread mix and stuff coming from other companies that I can have. So if it's just a mix, then by all means, I don't see a problem with replacing like for like of the mixes. So this is now nice and simmering, so we're just going to leave that. I'm going to set an alarm for about half an hour. And then we're going to get courgette in. So, if people didn't see before they joined, this is my spiralizer. This is going to be what we're going to create our spaghetti from the courgette. Half an hour. Right, so spiralizer, it's got a nice little rubber feet, so it means that it can lock down. You just have to make sure it locks down onto the surface, so then it's not going anywhere. Okay, and then what we are going to do is I'm going to get. We're probably going to do a plate. Oh yeah. I'm going to do 2 courgettes. So this is what it comes out looking like. It's like a before and after. So I'm just going to get a little mixing bowl, just so I can show you it a bit better. Right, so we've got a little mixing bowl. Refresh. Right, so this is where the courgettes are going to go. So what you want to do is you want to chop off the one end of the courgette. Okay, so we've chopped off the one end of the courgette. I have the perfect place in my garden, Anita, for a greenhouse. I just need to buy a greenhouse and then, yeah, grow all my own veg. Take a lot. I do get the sun for it. So I think that's kind of it's quite useful because I know my mum has like an east-facing garden or something like that, and it's quite hard to get the sun. So spiralizing, what we're going to do is it has 2 different things. I can't. Come on. It's very well planted to the surface. So, as you can see here, it has a little hole here. This is a movable plate, so you can change your plates. I've got 2 different plates here, which are for spirals and for just like really thin strips. Obviously, we're not needing that if we're creating spaghetti. So this is the version for creating noodles, what they call noodles, but this is what we will use for the spaghetti. So let me just plant it back down. A little bit messy, but it's quite fun. So what you need to do is you need to plant this bit that you've chopped off into the hole, okay? And then you want to clamp the bottom end with your little thing here. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we are literally just going to spiralize. So hopefully you can kind of see it coming out the edge. I feel like I'm back in like Victorian mill times. Okay, with a courgette you get a big long stick like that. Okay, this is what's coming out. So it's just one big long spaghetti train at the moment. So we're going to put that in the bowl, and then I'll show you how to make it into a lot more like smaller, more palatable spaghetti things. Just going to do a quick check on this. Looking all good. Obviously, you get big load of seeds coming out of here. So what you want to try and do is chop off that end, chop off this end, and almost go the reverse way. Okay? So, do that. Just do this thing, coming out the end. Okay, see, it's all coming out. Keep going. So then we're going to come out, yeah, with tiny little things. So this is for anybody that does, like, they sell this in the supermarket in terms of like antipasta dishes, and they cost a fortune because someone else has done this. So I have the best kitchen gadgets because you guys have encouraged my mum to buy me kitchen gadgets for my birthday, which in an ideal sense before I wouldn't have ever considered I'd be doing that. So the recipe is actually for 2 courgettes, so we're going to do this for a little bit longer. Okay, so that's our first courgette done. You want to just make sure that you're clearing the blade out a little bit. Obviously, if you've got kids, this is, you know, they are sharp blades, so do bear that in mind. I never need to. I could actually, you know, with potatoes, you could do chips, couldn't you, with the slices? Didn't think about that. What might be quite useful with a courgette is to maybe chop it in half. Okay, so we're wedging this on, wedging it at the end, doing this thing. Okay, look at all that. So much courgette spaghetti. Apparently this serves one. So, okay, we'll do the last one. No, I didn't mean spiral chips. We never had. Oh, okay, I get you now. I still love chips and I still love sweet potato fries. And there's something quite nice about just sticking it in an oven and it does things. And unless I take my spiralizer out to whenever we can eat in restaurants again, I think I'll be still having chips, unfortunately. But my diet will be a lot more varied in health. So I'm sure it'll be a lot more happier for that. Okay, so that's how much we've come out with for two courgettes. Which is, I think you'll agree, quite a lot of courgette spaghetti. Okay, so depending on how well people like courgettes and how much comes out, you might only want to do one, possibly. But then, obviously, these are just one big long thing, and they're quite hard to palate in terms of they're longer than actually normal spaghetti. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to get some scissors, okay, and just lift and cut. Lift and cut. So obviously mind your fingers. We just want to cut these down so they're less long. The gadget does not suggest any more vegetables. It literally just tells you, put this blade in and do it. So we're just going to cut these down. So now you can see they're a lot shorter. Now this is whatever you might decide as what you prefer to have. Okay, so that's just chopping it up. And then it's not that long now, which is good, a bit more palatable. So what we're going to do is, now all we need to do is just cook this courgette. So we're going to get a tablespoon. Where's the tablespoon? Spoon. There it is. Just give this a little wash. Okay, now we're going to need a frying pan for this one. So I'm actually going to get a frying pan. Okay. Cool. So what we're going to do now is we're going to get a 1 tablespoon of olive oil. I'm going to put that into the pan. And then what we're going to do is we're going to heat this up over a medium heat. How's that doing? Wobbling away good. And then what we're going to do, so you want to try, the reason why I stopped halfway with the courgette rather than keep going is you don't want seeds in here. Okay, you just want typical courgette. You don't want the seeds that are in the middle of it. So, olive oil away. So we're going to cook this for a minute, and then we're going to add water. Okay. So do that. I'm going to take you back to the back so you can see. I think my camera went, oh, no, it's all good. I think my camera may have died. Yep, my battery in my camera's run out. Oh. So just bear with me a second. I will change my batteries. This should be all good. Okay. I'm shooting. Cool. Okay. So we're just going to transition back to the back of the camera, and hopefully this will work. So that should be doing its thing. If you can see that or not. You can't see it, it's just frozen. Right. I'll transition you back. We've got technical issues. Bear with me. Okay, we should be back now. There you go, so it's back to working. That's the only thing. As you can see, that's simmering away really nicely. This is now bubbling up. So we're now going to put this in. Well, that should be just cooking itself away now. So yeah, the oil's got to be hot, so really high temperature. And then just keep making sure that we're going to stir through this. And yeah, we're going to need after this oil to put boiling water on it. Of like 2 tablespoons just to cool it down. It's not too high but not too cool. Okay, I'm just going So yeah, you can see it's quite colourful. We'll just check. So that's bubbling away. So you want to, there's quite a lot in this frying pan. So we will we're just going to give it another minute or so just to do its thing. Because you just got to make sure it keeps moving. Okay, so I'm just going to keep flipping this over, making sure that it's all going to be soft. The idea with courgettes is you're wanting it to go soft. I'm just going to make sure that it's boiling away. So this is doing its thing. Hopefully everyone can see. And then once this kettle's boiled, we're just going to pour this over. Just do this thing. Okay, you can see actually a good indication of whether it's softened is one, it's moving around easier. Also, it's actually reduced a bit in volume, which means that it's slightly compressing now. So then the recipe itself says 4 tablespoons of water. So we're just going to do that and put it over. That's bubbling away. I might just give that a little stir to make sure that it's going okay. It's looking nice though, the chili is. Thing. Cool. So then what we're going to do is we're going to do our spoons, tablespoons. Okay, so that's now added a bit of water. Into it. And now what we're going to do is we're just going to cook this for about 7 minutes, just in the water that it's in. Okay, so leave that there to do its thing. And if it's looking like it's got a little bit more, it needs a little bit more water, then you might as well add a bit more. Because I'm using the dessert spoon here. Okay. Because you can serve this with sauce, or you can just serve it clean with the water that's in. So as you can tell now, look, it's got a little bit more of a liquidy movement around. Okay, so we're going to leave that for about 7 minutes while I'm juggling the spoons. There we go. Okay, and then we'll come back. Okay, so so we are. So you're going to do that. We're going to leave it for a few minutes. The chili's got about 10 more minutes on it, and this is about 7 minutes. So it's all coming together. What we will do, obviously, is drain that water of the courgettes, so it just becomes a dry dish. And then you can add that with any herbs or any spices that you want over the top of it. So, I'm just going to, my light I think has gone off because the battery's run out. So I'm just going to change that because I was looking a bit dark. Hey, looking a little bit brighter now. Is there, while that does its thing, are there any questions? How is everyone? Has anybody cooked anything adventurous this week? Let me know. And then I can try and nick it and do it myself. Sweeties. I do like swede. I'm a big fan of swede. I think like the spiralizer, it can do all sorts now. So it really opens up the opportunities. What I've realised is I'm getting so I've got my blender, I've got my spiralizer, and all this stuff helps. This item or vegetable is running a bit like getting towards its like end of life. So why not put it in one of these things, and then you don't have to have any waste. So on Thursday night, I made banana bread just because my bananas were going off. It's kind of like you're getting used to becoming inventive so you don't lose waste. So yeah, Swede noodles sound nice, and also you'd have the same relative colour. So next time I get a Swede in, I'll have to give it a go. It's just soaking away now. It's good. So we're just going to get some salt and pepper out, which is in sea salt's there, and pepper's in the other room. That's ready for seasoning because you might want to season. You might want to season your courgettes. Yeah, butternut squash. I have a lot of. I have had butternut squash and carrot pasta, or like fake pasta, but the spaghetti and noodles. I've had butternut squash before. That's really nice. You can do onions, carrots. Yeah, carrots are a bit harder, so you might have to cook them a little bit longer. Butternut squash, you can easily spiralise some onions too. So there's a lot of possibilities that you can do. So is anybody anything else? I'm just going to go. Okay, so we'll go and have a little quick look back at what Pan's doing. So it's doing its thing now. Just going to give that a few more minutes. We'll get some of the edge stuff. Okay, so that's cooking away. We'll come back to the front. Sorry about that. Sorry about the flashes. There you go. What we're going to do is I'm just going to go and get some tomatoes to help garnish our spaghetti. So I'm just going to get them. Okay, so got some little piccolo tomatoes that you can either cook and fry up yourself, or this is like an additional thing that isn't on the menu, on the recipe, which I'll put in the chat again. So yeah, you can put this over the top if you wish. So I'm just going to get chopped. If there's any questions, leave in the chat. Just going to chop these up in half. What's everybody doing for their bank holiday weekend? It doesn't really feel like a bank holiday to me personally, but if you're working, then a bank holiday will feel like a bank holiday. So yeah, what are people doing? Because I'm just either working on little bits and bobs, or making, or eating, or sleeping, hopefully. Yeah. Hopefully it improves. I know people have got like barbecue plans and stuff. Marking. What do they have to do for that? Nutritional studies. Is that like dissertations and they come up with premises and stuff? Let me know. Yeah, marking isn't fun. I'm doing a lot of marking myself. Right, so these are probably done. So I'm just going to put 3,000 word essays. Now, how much do you have to write to? How much do you have to write as feedback for that? That's the fun thing. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to drain. We're going to drain this courgette. So we're going to take this off the pan, bring it here, drain it with a little help. Okay, so that's now, it's dried its thing. What's this? Can I make a suggestion? Cut some broccoli, tomatoes, toss it into the orange. Okay, yeah, we can give that a go while this is just like cooling. So I'll cut some broccoli. So this is an addition thing, because obviously you can make it as gassy as you want. So I'll put foil sheet into the grill. Now turn my grill on. The chili's going to have probably about a couple more minutes left. This one is, oh yes, because they won't have an exam, would they? That makes sense. Yeah, they'd have to come up with different alternatives, wouldn't they? So, it's going to do bag trick. Put these in. So what I'm doing here is I'm popping these in. I'm going to cut up a bit of broccoli. I'm going to add water into the. I'm going to add oil into this bag, just to make sure it goes across everything. And this can add a little bit of difference into your courgette spaghetti. So do they have to all answer the same question, or can they come up with a little bit of variety? Suzanne. So I'm just cutting these up small just so they cook quicker. Probably just a few more floats. Okay, so what you want to do first is we're going to do the chili flakes. So I'm just going to do some chili flakes in there. Oh, damn it. Okay, shake around just so the chili flakes spread. So they're now across. We're just going to add in a little bit of oil, not too much, just a little dab. Make sure that goes round, especially on the broccoli, because that's going to helps it cook quicker. And then we're just going to spread this across on the foil. Okay, and then we're going to pop this in. Just going to get that little handle. So that's what's going in. Some broccoli, a little tomato. So we're just going to cook that for a couple of minutes. We'll grill it for a couple of minutes. And then after that, our chili should be done. Okay, our courgette is there, so let's pop that on a plate. Okay, and then just disperse this a little bit more. So this is what the courgette's looking like at the moment. And then we're going to add in a little semicircle of broccoli and the tomatoes when they're done. So yeah, a couple of questions. I guess that adds a little bit of variety, Suzanne. So how how many do you have to mark? That's, see, because that, especially with essays, after an essays, they are. I can only do about 10 in a day because then I feel like I'm being disingenuous, if you know what I mean, because it feels like you're just saying the same stuff to them. But also essays, you have to pick them apart a lot more, so that's a bit more frustrating in a sense. So this chili is probably going to be done. So we're just going to go back. We're going to have a little look at how the chili's doing. Only 9. That's not too bad. Then by the end of the 9, they actually still seem like they're a bit more interesting, and they're not just becoming monotonous to you. So we're just going to have a little transition back. Right. So this is looking nice now. It's thickened up because you've simmered it off. Hopefully you can see. Okay. So that's now looking good. So we're just going to take this off the heat. Turn it off. Let it sit for a little bit in the juices. While I keep an eye on the broccoli and stuff. So we're just going to come back. Okay. So we're just going to leave it to settle a little bit because you don't want it too watery. Let the heat escape. I'm going to open a window. It's a bit warm. And now people are going to think I'm just talking to myself. So hopefully it's windy enough that people aren't in their garden and listening to me right now. Okay, so that chili, we're just going to leave that to go. We're going to have that. I'm just going to wipe the surface a little bit. As per usual, got a lot of washing up. But as you can tell, hopefully, what I quite like about this chili is that it's actually, you can kind of leave it to do its own thing. Once you've done it, you can kind of leave it, and that's quite nice. So like once you put it all in the pan and got the chopped tomatoes in and stuff like that, then you can just leave it to do what you want it to do. So just going to give this a little look. Okay, so they're coming along. They've probably got about a minute left. So yeah, so the broccoli and the tomatoes are nearly done, and then we're just gonna put that with the courgette. Sweating today. The reason why I don't have my apron today is I'm not doing any form of baking, so it's not that messy. So I can have my shirt and I'm actually wearing jeans. It's probably quite weird. Feels weird. But yeah, so I can wear that instead of the apron. Yeah, I haven't tried jackfruit much, so it's going to be quite interesting to give it a go. I'm just going to change the camera angle so then you can see it when it's done. So you should, for people that were struggling to see before, we can transition now. Okay, so this is the courgette at the moment. So that's the courgette. We're going to then have the broccoli and the tomatoes there. Okay, and then we're just going to do the chili. So that's kind of just gives you an idea, and that's now ready for when the chili is ready and ready to go. So let's transition back. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do. Ooh. So with the chili, if anybody's got any suggestions, I've got a few. With the chili, you can have them with crackers. You could have that with tortillas. So I'm just going to go and get some herby crackers. Got a little glimpse into my PKU. Can't really see from my big PKU cupboard. So got my crackers. Gonna get my little plate. I'm going to present my crackers, and they're probably done now. Yeah, they're looking done. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to place this around. So let's go back to the camera angle. Okay, so you can see how they've come out. So just going to do a little bit of garnish around the edge. I'll move it up a little bit just so people can see. There you go. Add in a few of these tomatoes into the middle. That was a little bit of a deflate. Obviously the recipe at the moment doesn't contain this little bit, but I will add that, and then you can do this yourself. This is very healthy, very healthy. It's almost like I'm trying to counteract the donuts that I did last week, the donuts and the sugar cookies, by just having this load of health. Okay, so that's now done. What we're going to do now is we're going to do some little bit of a sprinkle of salt. Okay, for seasoning, and then a little bit of pepper. And there you go. That is your courgette spaghetti, which is the base, and tomatoes and broccoli. So hopefully that's looking quite nice. Let me know in the comments. I've realised to myself I have almost like 2 main dishes now. So what we're going to do is we're just going to present crackers. I've been picking things that are oily, so I'm struggling to open these. Okay, so that's our little cracker dish. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do the chili. Now this chili, it should be more than what we need. Okay. So there you go. This is how much we've got left over. So you've got probably another serving out of that. Oh, and the camera is just there. There you go. So this is these are the 2 dishes now that we are done. I will just change my camera battery just so you know. Maybe you can see or not. Let's have a look. See if any of these batteries work. No, camera's dead. So what I will do is I'll take pictures of these anyway, but hopefully you can see. There you go, so you can see a bit. There you go, that's what the chilli looks like. So quite colourful, quite pinky looking. Okay, and that's what other dishes looking like. So yeah, hopefully that is looking good. And yeah, you can obviously mix the courgette and the veg together. I've just displayed it differently. I will mix it when I'm eating it, but just for presentation, it's like that. So yeah, hopefully that's looking nice. I'll take pictures, I'll put it up on social media. Really simple. Done both the dishes in 1 hour and 15 with prep and talking and that sort of thing. So yeah, thank you for coming. Hopefully that's been useful. And yeah, it's been great to have you. And I will see you next week. I don't know what I'll be doing. Any suggestions? Let me know. So yeah, with the chili with the crackers, yeah, you can have tortilla chips if you want, but obviously they're exchanges. So to keep it low protein, I thought I'd have this, so I can give it a little go. I don't want to spoil my picture too much. Good. Try to collect a decent amount. Oh, that's nice. That's got a bit of kick too, that has. I say that after every one, because I put a lot of chili and stuff. But it's really nice. It's actually really soft. So despite it looking like a mixture of different things, it actually looks really soft. So yeah, the chili is really nice. I'll let you know how the courgette is. Don't particularly want to spoil it because it looks very nice for the photo. But yeah, there you go. So that's now I'm just eating the cracker. So one more. Whoa, it's broke. Yeah, that's really nice. That's really nice. So yeah, cheers for your time. And I'll see you next week. So thank you and have a good bank holiday weekend. See you guys. Bye.